since we were like going back and forth, so I wanted to know, what are ways in a relationship that a couple can build trust and respect for each other?
If you live in Canada and don't have life insurance, then listen to this. Until the end of this month, you could get up to $100,000 in coverage from only $30 a month with no physical medical exam, even if you're a smoker or have some health conditions. The best part? You could get covered the same day. All you need to do is click the blue button under this video. You'll see the same site you see on the screen right now. Just answer the simple questions by clicking the blue buttons or using the slider to select your age. Then tap how much coverage you feel your family needs, and that's it. So click that blue button under this video, right now. See that same quiz, and you could get covered today for up to $100,000 in coverage from as little as $30 per month. So click that button now, take the quiz, and get started.
Canadian small business owners. If you're on the hunt for the next domain name for your small business, I have the perfect solution for you. To me, there's nothing better than something local, trusted, and secure. And that's why I feel that .ca domains are the best choice for Canadian business owners like you and I. Not only does .ca have a plethora of inventory, meaning that you're probably not going to have to make some super long and complicated domain name just to remain unique. But unlike a .com domain, which can be bought by anyone, anywhere in the world, .ca requires a Canadian presence. This means that your customers and clients know that they're purchasing from a 100% Canadian website. I recently purchased a .ca.
Pastor?
I mean, I think that you got to start from the beginning. I understand your view of vulnerability, because it's absolutely possible for men and women. And it's one of the saddest things I've seen, where people they're no longer their best self. Like, you were a better you for a worse dude. And now you're making this new dude pay the back tax for the last dude that was crap.
That's why I
And
said
you were actually more vulnerable, or you actually served more, or you made sandwiches for that dude. But then after that dude cheated on you,
to put
you're
up
like,
walls.
now I'm not making sandwiches no more. Now you meet a dude that's actually worth a sandwich, but you won't make it. So I think that you do have to trust again. You have to forgive. That's what you were talking about. You gotta let them go, because they ain't even thinking about you. They're just you're just holding on, and you're only hurting yourself.
And it's been more peace for myself too.
More peace for you, no doubt. And I think you do have to be able to share, and you have to be open and honest. And I think that you have to find someone that you see the world in a similar way. So, like, when you were talking about the polygamy guy, it's like, well, if you know from the beginning that's not going to work for you, then you got to be honest up front at the beginning, because if you can agree about those things, then it'll help. But it's harder when, you don't trust and you don't believe. And now, you're starting to get shook about yourself, and you settled. So I think that it's important to share. It's important to talk. A lot of the things that we talked about right here, it's important to be upfront. And to be honest about where you are. But I also think that one of the things that's important too is,
but what are some of the ways that they could do it? That's what I mean.
Like, you need to be careful not to write too much in ink. Like, write in pencil. Like, dudes like to feel like, hey, like, this is where you are right now. Like, make your plans. But let's be honest, if you meet the right dude and he's got the right stuff going on,
gotta erase that.
You'll be able to erase that.
Don't set it in stone.
If it's too set in stone, then
it's not gonna.
The kind of guy you want. Because if you want a guy that's got his own money, his own power, his own life, his own drive, his own purpose, then he's going to want you to come along with him on that journey. And so, if you want to maintain your flexibility, because that's what you all want. We said it earlier, like, women think they want to be in charge till they're really in charge. And when you really become in charge, you're like, you're a little boy. And you're not really interested in a little boy. You're interested in a grown man. And so, but for that guy to come, he has to feel like, I get it. Like, you're coming out of this bad situation, but you've healed. So you're good. So if I'm asking you to come along with me, you're not like, yeah, but I did that the last time. So I think that that's a big thing, for women to be healed within yourself. What you're saying is really good. You got to be healed within yourself.
Yeah, you have to.
Because no one can heal you but you and God, and that's important.
And that's a good analogy he made, the pencil and the eraser. You want to write things in, well, pretty much you said ink and then pencil. You want to write things in pencil sometimes for a woman, because if you write things in ink, you become more hardened. And a man doesn't want a hardened woman. He doesn't want a masculine woman. He wants a woman that's going to let down her guard and be vulnerable, because we accept a woman being vulnerable, and not only that's what we want the woman to be. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. And writing things in pencil, like you said, then you wrote it down. That was up for that man. But that pencil got an eraser on it. You meet that new dude, you had them walls up. Oh, okay, you're going to erase this for the new dude. You're going to put them walls down. Yeah. So, and it's funny is because usually when a woman goes through something and experience adversities and some trauma and some heartache from a man or from anything, in some way, shape, or form, it hardens her and it makes her more masculine to some degree. To some degree it does. And I talked about it before on the podcast. You may not agree with it, but when you look at it from a man's point of view,
I feel genuinely nervous to release this to the public. If you are a coach, a service provider, or you sell any kind of high-ticket programs, this right here is my exact framework for how I put together high-converting webinars that turn cold prospects into ready-to-buy.
we want the softest, feminine, sweetest, kind-hearted. We walk through the door, she's bubbly, she's giggly. That's what makes us feel great. We want to be the superhero in this story. So when a woman experienced things, and even if she overcame those things, now meaning that she's healed, but when she gets with the new guy, she got them walls up. So exactly like he said, you really need to write it down. That was good. Can I steal that one? Yeah, I'm gonna steal that one. Write it down in pencil instead of ink, because then you can erase that. You don't have to have those walls up and be so masculine and be a man. We want a woman.
And that's the thing for me. Every relationship that I've been in, I always seem to go into it with a clean slate.
That's good.
And I've made sure that I'm aware of that, because I don't like to bring that emotional baggage into my next relationship. And I've been through some bad relationships. I've been physically, emotionally, mentally abused, and yet I still go into the next relationship the same way, clean slate. Don't. You know what? I'm not gonna punish him for what he did.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll speak about it quickly briefly about a biological.
Yeah, this woman is saying that she's been in many relationships and she always going into a new relationship with a clean slate. Like, okay, let me get this straight. Why are you going into so many relationships? Like, don't you know what the hell you want? It's all cap.
Way that a woman really can't fully she can overcome the traumas and adversities, but the man, he just views it differently. Because when a man experiences adversities and trauma, well, normally all human beings, we have to adjust. So how do we adjust? We're usually a little bit more non-agreeable. Well, usually when something happened to you, you were agreeable too much. Usually then you take on another characteristic trait of being more assertive. Well, okay, that didn't happen right for me. Let me assert myself more. Then maybe a little bit more dominant, because you don't want to be dominated like you was before and taken advantage of like you was before. So all human beings take on these characteristic traits when they go through things, adversities and trauma. It just so happens to be that when a man takes on these characteristic traits, when he's overcoming things, he's a more masculine man. He went through something. And the woman views it. I'm just saying that the woman views it as more masculine. He's more dominant, more assertive, more non-agreeable. He can lead the right way. You trust this man. You'll trust him with your life. But guess what? The woman takes on those same characteristic traits too. The man just doesn't view it the same. We view it as, God dang, you more masculine. You trying to be like me. Calm down a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So the thing is that what you can't escape, and no woman can escape it. When you go through things, and you do overcome it, it's inevitable that you will take on some more masculine traits. But Pastor Andy did give some gems. He said, if you write in pencil and not in pen, that'll help you out. So yeah. Anybody else?
What if what advice would you have if you erase too much?
Do you look at a gorgeous woman and immediately you think to yourself, no, this woman is out of my league. She's unattainable. The average middle-aged man. Nothing special. Why me? So let me tell you right from the start. These questions have nothing to do with reality. I will try to dispel these and other doubts you might be having. First things first. How do you normally meet women? Of course, you don't stalk strangers, but you most likely use one of the popular websites or apps. But all of them are so similar. All you really want is to find a woman of your dream.
What you mean? No boundaries?
Like if you go in, if you've been through something and then you go into the next relationship and
clean slate.
you go in with the clean
Well,
slate.
you want to have discernment. You want to have discernment. Discernment is the ability to make good judgment. So yeah, you want to you want to, and you gather that. The way to have discernment, to make a discerned decision and choices and things, is you. You have to be more disciplined. Think about it. If I'm not disciplined, if I'm smoking, masturbating, drinking, I'm always going out to the club, well, I really can't trust I can't trust my own actions, so therefore I can't trust my own choices that I'm really making. Because I'm making bad choices. So then I'll choose a more masculine woman. I'll choose the girl that's on the stripper pole. I'll choose the girl that's doing OnlyFans. I'll choose those type of women because I lack the discipline within myself. And we always tend to project. So I'm saying this. How you overcome that part is you have to be more disciplined yourself. If you are more disciplined, guess what? If you're a pure woman and you know that you weren't doing these things, normally we all project. You want what's in yourself almost. You want the morality that you hold in yourself. And you want this man to embody those same moral characteristic traits. So if you're immoral, obviously you're going to attract and accept another immoral person.
What if it's almost like you're fooled? Like they put on a mask for so long and
discernment.
I was going to say that's discernment.
Yeah, that's discernment. So that's just, once again, if you're disciplined, right? The more disciplined you are, and then also if you look at your own experiences, meaning that memories is only for one thing. Memories, when we have a memory, is for one thing, is to extract lessons learned. It's not to dwell on negative emotions and whatever else is going on. Extract lessons learned. So when you experience life, you extract the lesson learned, and then that creates discernment there. That's opening up the discernment box for you. Then you put in you being disciplined. Well, god dang, you'll know when this dude is lying, talking about he's single when he's really married. The way he conveys himself and stuff like that, you'll pick up on a red flag. The way he's incongruent in things, you'll pick up on all these things because you embody good characteristic traits yourself.
That's deep. No, that was deep.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.
All right, that's another one down.